with MTN mobile money. Mobile money. Da baby. Eh? Ladies and gentlemen, your famous Yuka Rental Services have bounced back with renewed vigor. Yuka Rental Services offers round-town services as well as out-of-town services with our fully air-conditioned vehicles. Yuka Rental Services have the best drivers in town that can take you anywhere you desire in a relaxed manner. We also have in our fleets several limousines under the Shatta For reservation, call these numbers 0880-692184 or 0770-560560. When it is Yuka Rental Services, it got to be good, reliable, and relaxing. As for the break-in relative to the internet, but it's going to get better. And we also had an earlier break-in transmission due to power outage. You know, our friend at LEC. We have braced ourselves for these things. So it is no strange to us when these things happen, you know. So we begin with a few words to the president. We want to greet our dynamic president, His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Yuman Boakai. Thank you so much for your leadership. Though it is not rosy, but with the help of God, our country is trailing on the path so that all Liberians, one way or the other, can have the benefits of the country's wealth. With that being said, Mr. President, we want to call on you and get your attention to a few things that are happening within the country that you need to keep your eyes on. Just the other day, we sat on tune. Yes, you said you won't give anyone the space to do so. If they are caught, there will be no return to government. They will be fired. And we say thank you so much for your swift actions. We will be getting details as it relates to why he was fired. According to the information we've received from the executive mansion, the president, Joseph Yuman Boakai Sr., has with immediate effect relieved Mr. James Amar Massaquoi of his post as Deputy Minister for Administration at the Ministry of Education for administrative reasons. So administrative reasons as being quoted. Yeki, that's Yeke Wafokpa to replace Mr. Massaquoi as Deputy Minister for Administration at the Ministry pending confirmation by the Liberian Senate. In his letter of appointment to Antonin Fokpa, the Liberian chief executive expressed the trust that he will so this will serve as a deterrent that we continue to say to people, it is not business as usual. Like the president would say, it is not business as usual. He will always, someone say the president is slow, but he's sure. He will act like he's not seeing. Show your action, then he clamped down on you. So we've come to understand that Mr. James Arma Massaquoi may have violated the president's mandate and his agenda for the Republic of Liberia that may have led to his dismissal. So he's been dismissed and replaced at the Ministry of Education. Mr. Ministers and directors who haven't declared their assets. Your fight against corruption, it is welcoming, but we must start from in-house. And what we mean by that, there were people who are how much they're worth before taking our public office. These people, with several months given them to declare their assets, have refused to do so. And this is one of the points that your folks from the opposition, your critics, would use against your fight against corruption. They will use it against you in your fight against corruption because people in this fight against corruption, your able lieutenants who you have appointed must be sincere to the Liberian people by declaring their assets. That will serve as a level playing field for your fight against corruption. If not so, the fight against corruption will be characterized by mischief, will be characterized as it is already been characterized as a witch hunt, because there are lots of things that you need to put your eyes and hands on that have not been done yet. Taking our time. The time is now waiting. Sooner or later, we'll be talking about your first year completion, and we'll be entering the second year. If we will continue to, these people have not declared their assets, these people have not declared their assets, others will start to do things and get involved with the business as usual that you spoke of. Those who have refused or reneged in declaring their assets. Mr. President, the Liberian people have entrusted you and given you state power for 6 years. Based on what you do in this period of 6 years, we extend their confidence for the next 6 years, if possible. The possibility can only come to fruition when you start to do the right thing, and doing the right thing within this period. Back, your able lieutenant, they are available. They can fit in that line, but you are setting the basis for them. Like you said, you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to gain. You want to set the record straight and put Liberia on par with other nations so that the young people can enjoy, the citizens can enjoy the wealth of their country. So there are lots of things, and we want to say to you, Mr. President, corruption will always find a way to fight back. And there are lots of people within your corridors, like you have said. There are a lot of people within your corridors who have their own agenda, aside from what you envision for the Liberian people, they have their own personal agenda. So if to all of us Liberians, the fight against drugs should be a holistic one. It is so sad to have heard from the LDEA the quantity of drugs that was caught at our border and that of the Rabos International Airport. It is alarming. We know people are enriching themselves through the means of drug trafficking, through the means of bringing all sorts of bad substances in the country. But again, what has been future leaders? Future leaders are going astray by the day. If you will take up the time and just take a tour during the night hours or the mid-evening hours, see the amount of young people that are going astray by the day. See the amount of young people that are going astray by the day. And not just going astray through drugs, they are getting involved into all sorts of dangerous crimes. Just a few days ago, that's on Friday, a female was robbed around the Pinsville area. Her bag was snatched away from her and she nearly died. And we want to say to you, Mr. RG of the Liberia National Police, of the passengers. We are seeing a lot just within a short period of time. The guys have reneged on enforcing this operation or this mandate. Criminals have now begun to roam around in the Cinco area between the hours of 8 to 9 p.m. People have been harassed and intimidated by these same young people who are taking in drugs and getting themselves involved into all sorts of crimes. Mr. RG, we want to call your attention to this. We see some of your guys will just come and put the coon down, and they are not assigned to those areas like they used to. They will leave the coon and nobody will be around there. People are now using the avenues, people are now using the main streets without helmets and creating crimes. Just the other day, right on 10th Street here, right before one of the guys' phone. The guys have begun the spread of crime through the motorcycle movement. We want to caution all of us. This is not just the police issue, it is about you and I. And we do not want to resort into the issue that has to do with mob violence, Mr. RG. Mob violence is not the way. We listen to the Minister of Justice. He frowned on the issue of mob violence, and myself, I frown on the issue of mob violence, but we need to put mechanism in place. If we do sporadic movement in the various communities, in the various corners, will help to curb the level of crime that we now experiencing. Just on Sunday, around my church, in the Weaver Street area there, this young man went, while the guy's motorcycle was parked with a new umbrella on it, he went and removed the umbrella from the people's motorbike, walking away with it, and I had to go to chase him. And that brother ran straight in our church. He ran for his life. And blessing it for him, we calmed the situation and called on the police, and they came and took delivery of him. So if we do not want mob violence, numerous occasions at these zones and depots, the communities and the street corners. So there are measures that need to be put in place so that we shouldn't revert to the issue of mob violence. And how do we go about that? The community policing must be in full swing. We must have community service discussion with the police, because the crimes at night is equivalent to the crimes at day. Broad daylight, people have been robbed. Broad daylight, people have been stabbed for their belongings. There are certain communities within the vicinity or in the country, you just don't move certain time of the day or certain time of the night. Where are we with this rehabilitation issue? There is a need that we make this a priority. Mr. President, the level of crime that we are now experiencing, it will go offhand, and the people will resort into more violence, because no one wants to sit there and allow themselves to be manhandled by a criminal. So whenever they have the opportunity to apprehend a criminal, they will actually go towards more violence, and which of course is not healthy, but the people take their security first. They don't spare you. And some of the objects that they use, they are tetanus prone. Sometimes it leads to instant death of their victims. So we want to categorically state that the security, the joint security, need to be proactive, because there are a lot more crimes that have been carried out nowadays. On the no-go zone is becoming so reluctant. We see people passing the major streets, the no-go zones, without helmet these days. And as they have started, the crimes increasing. When you guys started the fight, when you guys started the no-go zone operation, the issue of motorbike crimes reduced drastically. But since you have reneged on the operation, as we learned, allegedly that the class that were in full swing in implementing this whole motorcycle regulation were being called back on grounds allegedly that they weren't trained. They were 4G trained, so they had to be recalled from the service. But that is another discussion for itself. is not welcoming. We need to beef up the security. We need to be vigilant. Because, mind you, this is one of the many call by this government when she was in opposition, that the fight against drugs would have been a priority. What we are expected, or what we are expecting, is not what we're seeing at the moment. Drugs on the increase, the importation of drugs, and mind you, most of these officers are involved in the peddling of these people, not just law enforcers, the DBP people. They won't get as community dwellers, we must be able to be proactive. We do not want the issue of ghetto in our community. If you put down that rules and regulation, you won't find the guys there. But every time they try to create the scene of gathering themselves, they've been dispersed, they won't settle. But you allow them to settle in those areas, and at the end of the day, when these guys take in those substances, or they want to take in those substances and nothing around, there's no finance, they go about creating crimes. So, Mr. President, we are calling on your attention. Mr. IG, we also calling on your attention, and that of the Justice Minister. We listen to you keenly. So we as citizens, we need to jointly do this. It is not one man's business. And if you think the drug issue here traumatized based on the level my late mother used to say, it takes a woman to born a child, but it takes the nation, it takes the community, the society to bring up that child. The former president said, we should take the fight against corruption by introducing the teaching of morals in our schools. When the person or the young person have a moral value or understand what it takes to have morals, he or she will not trail in a dangerous path. And that will serve as a deterrent and an eye-opener against corruption. But the crimes on the increase because our young people are vulnerable. School now closed. The young people, what have they to do to keep them busy? A lot of them just languishing around the place. I said the other day, a program any disciplines. That, and they call it the gallery, can be used to call the attention of the young people to so many important things, to make them to understand their values. But we are yet to see the collaboration of the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health, Justice, and other institutions responsible for the society building. Until we can realize these things, and feet down. The fight against drugs can only be won when we sincerely understand the dynamics We listened to the CSA boss. He made mention of several things. He said his life had been threatened, and he had received a lot of messages relating to issues that had to do with people who were placed on the payroll from the House of Representatives. So let's get you the detail of this information. So Representative Josiah Marvin Cole has called for the immediate dismissal of CSA Director General Josiah Joker for allegedly documenting and exposing their private conversation. He told a news conference on Tuesday, August 6, at his Capitol building office that in to answer questions about why he should not be held in contempt for depriving 742 Liberians from taking their July 2024 salary. The Bond County Electoral District Number 3 representative stressed the reported denial of Central Administration staff of the House of Representatives by Mr. Jokai, despite his earlier promise to have paid them, undermined the working of the legislature, describing him as a very disrespectful government official. All right? Cole, who is a staunch Kofa, inherited from the 54th legislature a payroll with huge financial discrepancy. He revealed that the payroll inherited had a total monthly personnel cost to scrutinize and standardize the payroll and the staff in central administration of the House of Representatives, after which over 40,000 was added in excess as a result of additional staff. Representative Cole further threatened that the House, in keeping with its oversight responsibility, will pass a vote of no confidence in the CSA boss if he does not desist from undermining the workings of the legislature in response to these claims, clarified that at no time he prevented those individuals from taking their July salary, as claimed by Representative Cole, adding that the CSA does not disburse funds, but rather the Ministry of Finance. According to him, the salaries for July were processed and approved by the CSA and sent to the Ministry of Finance, but the ministry delayed the disbursement on grounds that two different payrolls are presented coupled with technical issues, noting that the additional of new staff without the consent of CSA is illegal. So that's it from that angle. For to be in the news for the right reasons, what is it to be in the news for the wrong reasons? It will interest you to know this is not the first, second, or third time Mr. Marvin, Representative Marvin Cole name have been in the media for the wrong reasons. Upon a time in his country, during the 54th, he was linked to he was also accused of being involved into the brutal action against some staffers of the Rennie Hospital. He was also being accused on so many fronts for the wrong reasons, for which, as a lawmaker, you have three cardinal functions: oversight, lawmaking, from your own statement, Mr. Representative Cole, you said the 54th left you, the 55th, with a huge discrepancy when it comes to the payroll. What was your duty at that time? Since you knew all of those things, these are the hard questions that these people need to answer. You knew that there were discrepancies from the 54th, and you inherited those discrepancies. What did you do as a son, a true leader who wants Jokai have complained of several messages and calls from you, threatening him? And this is one thing I want to bring to our attention. For the wrong reason, to cite people, it will become a norm in our society where, because you are in disagreement with certain procedures that may be in the right direction, but because you are not in favor of it, you cite somebody. It will become a norm in our society. You listen to Representative Cole in his own statement. He said the 54th left them. Let me go back to that. He told a news conference on Tuesday, August, at the Capitol Building office that in a recent private conversation via text message, he told Jokai that he would appear before the plenary to answer questions about why he should not be held in contempt for depriving 742 Liberians from taking their July central administration staff of the House of Representatives by Mr. Jokai, despite his earlier promise to have paid them, undermines the workings of the legislature, describing him as a very disrespectful government official. Member of the opposition Coalition for Democratic Change narrated that the 55th legislature, under the leadership of House Speaker Funati Kofa, inherited from the 54th legislature a payroll with huge financial discrepancy. Now, if you knew that you inherited such a huge discrepancy, as an honorable man, as the title you carry, and you have interests in the Liberian people for which you to do the needful by getting to scrutinize the process so that you have a smooth and transparent payroll. But you did not do that because who knows? But you went further in your explanation. You revealed that the payroll inherited had a total monthly personnel cost of over 285,000. Just at one place, 285,000. Something you said prompted the need to scrutinize and standardize the payroll and the staff in as in essence as a result of additional staff. We see the speaker of recent, or for which we hail him for, by giving young people the opportunity to serve in his office. Stands on giving opportunity to people to serve their country in their respective areas of work. You will be hailed for the right reasons. But if the inclusion of these people is at the detriment of others, then we say no. So, Representative Cole, you need to slow down. Your name in the media, I have not heard thing attributed to your name in the growth and development of your district, your county, and Liberia at large. Your name is always mentioned in the corridors of negative things. When out of government, have at the back of your mind that you will still serve the Liberian people in whatever capacity, aside from the House of Representatives or the legislature. Create an environment for yourself. That's why you see some people in this country, they don't have the opportunity to work anywhere. When they leave government, they are out of government. There's nothing more they can do because the way in which they carry themselves while they were in service. We say to you, Honorable Cole, slow down. Calling the you calling him because you shot yourself in the leg. You knew very well that you inherited a very, very bad system where people infuse ghost names on the salary, on the payroll of that August body. You knew all of that. Why, as a loyal citizen, or one who wants to be seen as advocating for the staffers of that arm of government, why wouldn't you come up to raise the red flag and say, no, see, I say you need to come and check here. Our friend and our year, all our year together. But there's certain things which, of course, will hamper the smooth movement of our operation in the 55th National Legislature. You did not do that. But now you want to summon the man. Why didn't pay the 700? Bulk of those people are ghost names because some of you just put names, add names to your staffers, and at the end of the day, these staffers are not even in service. You go and collect the money, and it cut across. It go as far as the social development forms. These institutions that are operating in your districts, in your counties, they have social. You divert those fundings to your personal use. Is that what you call having the country at heart and the people at heart? No. So let's give it a try this morning. Get to hear from you. 0887. With that being said, 0887 105 105 0778 by Marvin Cole and that of Fanatic Kofa on several fronts relating to this whole payroll thing. What do you make of it? Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for your topic. To bring something to your attention, the past government, the speaker was from the Joshua CDC party. The present government, the speaker is from the opposition CDC party. Marvin Cole is a sedition. What do you expect? People that Lahos. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And this has been a call by District Number 7 Representative Musa Hassan Bility in Nima County. Said that they should order the house. Hello?
Good morning. It is Captain Bishop and I call you to the car.
Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so much confused. I'm yet to understand the rationale behind the argument.
You're going very low. You have to amplify your voice. Yeah. Okay. 0778 let's get to this line and take this call. Hello? Hello? Good morning.
Thank you. My name is Momo 40, and I call you from Do Community Samanima Village.
Momo, let's hear you.
Thank you for your talking point. You said it all, and I listened to the report from Mr. Cole. I think, like you said, no good news can come from Marvin Cole. The bunk on the issue. With the payroll, you already make it clear. You said the payroll have been frauded with a lot of names. So what up to this time you cannot allow the man to do the referral thing? Get the man the privilege. Then you do the referral thing to see how better to know who are in the system. For end of the day, you've been threatening the man. So we're not blaming Marvin Cole, but the people of the Bungi have to take decision on Marvin because all of the time they will incite the people a lot of wars. Come to power and then they do things out of contrary. So Marvin Cole, we're watching you with eagle eye. But one day there will be a time you get out of power and you will see how leadership it is. Thank you for your 40 minutes time.
0778 are the numbers to call and weigh in on the things that we are talking about. We're talking about the fight against drugs. How can we win this fight? Collectively, we need to put our eyes together, but how can we go about this? And the issue of crime is on the increase. The justice minister made mention of the issue that has to do with mob violence that is getting on and do instead of taking the laws in our hands. But mind you, the criminals are also advancing in their approach. We've listed a lot of incidents, and we are categorically stating that indeed, in order to curb some of these harmful approaches, we need to take this issue of rehabilitation as a priority as a government. Because when these brothers of ours are taken from the streets, taken from the ghettos and placed to a place for rehabilitation and subsequently reintegration, some of these things that are happening won't happen. But until then, they are languishing around here, creating mayhem and causing serious fear in community dwellers. There are certain communities, people of our brothers and sisters as a paramount thing. We also made mention of what is happening right now between the CSA boss and that of Marvin Cole and the speaker. I think, Mr. Cole, you need to slow down. The power that you have, power is like a crew killer, like the late James Topper would say. Power is like a crew killer, the Queto Capsa. If you think that you will remain in power all the days of your life, brother, you are missing the mark. There are people who held serious issues when it comes to the time they have power in this. Because the way in which they carry out the implementation of the power they have at hand. You are a very young man. The man said, Lord, at this point in time, what we can allot to that body for the payroll, but he said no. Hello?
Hello.
How are you? What's your name?
I'm this. I'm not clear now. I called first, but I think I was jumping a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good now.
Patrick Lumumba said the easy way of getting wealth is to join African politics. These guys have think they are closet and they want something against the Liberian people. Why would Matthew Cole be intimidating someone distracting our function? That's when people what we are suffering. The problem is within that house. And that payroll need to be structured, that goal need to be removed so that the right thing can be done in this country. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, my brother. Oh, yes. And several of your colleagues have called for the auditing of that body. A lot of you have some names that are not even in your employ. But because I say, oh, yeah, you lawmaker, you put the other name. Some of you only have just few handful of people. But when they look at your payroll, you have more than the number that you should employ. So these are the things that this young man is trying his best to bring to limelight so that we all can have the equal share of the country's wealth. I said it, and I will say it again. Corruption will always find a way to fight back. And these are the agents you're getting thousands of dollars just for vehicle, 45,000 in 3 years. You put out one down, you take another one. So you alone, 90,000 aside from your salary, aside from your allowances, just for car, you have 90,000 allotted to you. Your gasoline is in the 1,000. Trust me, my brother. At the end of the day, that's why some of you, when you leave power, there's nothing to show. Because the way in which you carry yourselves, the way in which you treat the Liberian people. The call by Madam Celine to curb the issue that has to do with corruption. The minds of our people, very corrupt. So at the end of the day, I'm seeing this man as my mentor. I call him leader, I call him mentor. All he involved. So that tells you people that are around this brother or others who are involved in these things, these are the things. They are breeding another group of corrupt individuals. So when we start to teach morals in our schools and the fight against corruption will actually reduce the strength of corruption in our country. These are some of the approaches that have been taken by people who have the country at heart, who wants to see each and every Liberian benefit from the wealth of the motherland. Say, look, that payroll dirty. Let's clean that payroll. And you have alluded that indeed the payroll is dirty. It has a lot of discrepancy. So why now you want the people to pay? You say you took that bad payroll from the that dirty payroll after it have not been cleaned. So do you have something within that payroll that you need, so you want to summon the man, turning the official, a family man, saying he's very disrespectful. It's very disrespectful. Rise in so many dubious acts. You as a legislator, you have been characterized and branded as one of the worst in the history of Bond County leadership. You have infused confusion amongst the bunkies through your leadership. You have gone to the extent of politicizing the workings of the nurses and doctors at the Phoebe. You as a legislator, what good example are you setting? Then you want to rain words at someone who wants to see the right thing doing. Amen, bro. You need to think it over. Sit and ask yourself, what is my contribution? Be someone, you say, yeah, or you. What are some of the bills that you prefer? Since you took power, what are some of the bills that you brought to the table to your colleagues? In the interest of the Liberian people, and even in the interest of the people that you serve as the legislator. But every time your name is in the news for the wrong reason, peaceful movement. If you're not involved into malfeasance, you're doing something different. Have 105-0778-665-073 are the numbers to call this morning and form part of the Positive Show here on Love FM 105.1. You must be an example.
Good
Good morning.
morning. I get this. Rufus.
I'm here.
All right. Thank you, my brother Rufus Divakan. My name is Josiah Small calling from the Commandant Peace Island. Commandant call 540.
Small, let's hear you.
No, Rufus, you couldn't have put any better when it comes to Josiah Babiko. I hear from Bon County. He Babiko is in the news for BD, ORC, or the clinic Bonota, in my grandpa's place. Babiko will be a CV, want to be next and that day. When Babiko not beat this off, going to the horse road, he said the bay horse. Babiko will be fine on the radio, he's shorting with me. Yeah, man, I will sell my leaders. Tell me, he can't tell me now to be part of the kind of caucus of Bon County. You got a 9 person. You just 1 person say no, we're 8 person. Does that make any sense? As a leader, Josiah Mabiko. No, we are embarrassed with the Lord because. But I don't believe Josiah Mabiko. I believe those are re-elected Mabiko on the 3. Because as a leader, you should lead by example. He wants larger so many who trying to do the right thing. Josiah Joker. Look at the transformation you have brought to 7-7. Then you want to assault the good work. But we told Josiah Joker, don't be deterred. We the Liberian people that brought JMB to power, everything that is right for this country. Let it be done. We are with them. That'd be cool. What they pay your brought forth to better the land of Bonnie. But you are in the news on the road recently all of the time.
0778665 0887105 are the numbers to call and form part of the program The Positive Show here on Love FM 105.1. While we await your call, let's get a word from our sponsor to be right back. Don't go away.
What is better than free? Nothing. Are sending money to friends and family at any agent point. So, join over 1.2 million Liberians doing that transaction on the most trusted, reliable, and #1 mobile money service provider in Liberia, MTN Mobile Money. Dial *156# and start transacting today with MTN Mobile Money. Mobile Money, that baby, eh?
Yes, indeed, mobile money, Lone Star Cell. Get your calls coming through. And for those of you who want to one of our lucky winners to win for yourself 3,000 Liberian dollars. Let's go to the telephone line and take this caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm George Tuba calling from FCA.
George, let's hear you.
Yes, you see, yesterday I listened to the outburst from one Musa Hassan Benete first, and then later Honorable Mervyn Cole. You know what a disgrace to see representatives that should be there to be fronting for the right thing, to see them and listen to them, the children that are coming out, listen to them saying things that if they are not there in a classroom, that's a disgrace. You know what I'm saying? Audit is not something that you just go and then follow an exact template. Everything. Why they are the Senate. They may know the reason for which he wants to use another approach with the House of Representatives. And then Mervyn Cole from nowhere, he's not even thinking about how he's going to improve the lives of his constituents. He's there threatening the man. You think you're threatening one water? That man will remain the CSA boss while you desire to work with him or not. As far as we know, he is not the one holding on to your staff's salaries. If your servant salaries are not paid, you are the one. Talk to your colleagues. Let them do what the CSA boss wants them to do. Because that's the reform we voted President Joseph Yuma Burger for, and that is what we expect. Thank
this morning and from part of the positive show. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Desmond once again.
Desmond, let's hear you.
Yeah, it's so laughable when I hear you talking about Matiko questioning someone's character. You know, Matiko is an social discipline individual. They record their inborn candidate. The first thing is that corruption is an institution in this country. There's a syndicate, there's a cartel. And the Joe Burger administration will break that cartel in no second. They guys are hiding something that the greatest super in like when people.
Thank you, my brother. Let's get more of your calls coming on 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073. This caller, good morning.
Good morning, Robert.
How are you? What's your name and you join us from where?
Yeah, my name is Aliyu Patikoma. I met the family. I call from around the Carroll Junction Bell.
Let's hear you, my brother.
And they say thank you this morning for your analysis. You know, yesterday I listened to Mavico.
Representative Mavico.
Mavico.
They're getting married respect now.
Yeah, Representative Mavico. Sorry. Representative Mavico. You know, Representative Mavico. He always let us be in the news. Why for the run team, but most of the time they're for the run team. So for him, you can't do nothing. Issues that you are discussing. For me, I'm a main target because as a young man, and then seeing young people into jobs. For me, every time I see it, I can share tears because I got a little brother and also myself born children. Like they didn't want to play to the judge salon. To be honest, 24 judges, even people who got houses, they had to be part of it. But you can't get a horse, when somebody said it's joy, getting a horse for them to be renting there. Can't you go down here around the portfolio, going to the head of our school building, the school and name Mikey around, go to that place. Business needs to go. C'est because on est tout à tout sur le premier la broyer la business de go sur better for the way to lead our guys in a car and them home valley go both na valley what you got no way to I just so that I didn't continue tell why thank you man.
Thank you, my brother. 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073 are the numbers to call and weigh in on the issues that we are discussing this morning. How can we holistically fight this menace in our country, the issue of drugs? Drugs is actually breeding a serious crime. And if we are to win the fight against drugs, we must take the approach of the rehabilitation center as a paramount approach. I'm okay. Your name and the journal somewhere.
Edo Ball here from Omega.
Okay, Edo, let's hear you.
Oh, you know, sometimes I get so bewildered by the attitude of people who are supposed to be promoting good governance. That is the house, the both houses. I think they are the ones that are supposed to be fighting, you know, on our behalf and making sure that, you know, Liberians get the benefits that are needed through their mineral resources and other, you know, resources. But for them to be fighting back at somebody who wants to do the right thing, you know, it amazes me a lot. I think that fellow at CSA is doing very well, and they should give him the chance to do his work. why is refusing maybe through Honorable, how they call him, Melvin Cole, you know, to for the staff there to carry out hair count. So it means that he has something under his sleeves or something that has been going on there that are not just right at all. No, we should not be doing this. On par with other nations around the world. So why is Liberia so different? But I think they threatening the fellow that they will, you know,
vote of no confidence.
Vote of no confidence, all of that. When they do that, President Baka will still appoint the man to act. You know, this thing
I don't know. They don't understand. You say the man you have vote of no confidence. The president can reappoint the man as acting until his tenure can finish. That happened during the regime of former President Ellen with Mary Brown.
Exactly. So then there is a need that most of these people, you know, we take them from over there because they don't want the right thing to be done. And this is wrong. Now, all of us country here, the country does not belong to just few group of people that they will just suffocate the entire country like that. What is this here too? You know, and that kind of man, the people saw him, they voted him, you know, to go back in the house. I mean, shame on them. Shame on them. See you, man, Rufus.
Thank you so much. I mean, these are things, you know, that's how we continue to say the next generation, the generation that we envision that gonna make things to be the way we trying to set people look up to for counsel, the way they carry themselves. There is a need, and I will stress and emphasize on the call by the former president Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Someone will say, "Why during her time she never?" Now that it's never too late for these things to be implemented. Time of our numbers, I have called on our leaders. And let me say to the Minister of Education, please, Madam, let us reintroduce the teaching of civics in our schools. When our students who are going through the grade school are educated and have the insight of what it takes to be a citizen, knowing their roles and I won't be here at the moment knowing my constitutional rights, knowing my role and responsibility as a citizen. Then one man or woman come from the blind side and can say, "Oh, when you let me, I will build toilet, I will build water pump, I'll do the one." Hello?
Hello.
Good morning. What's your name in the journal somewhere?
Ayuba.
Hello?
Ayuba.
No, this is not Ayuba. So this is it. If I know my roles and responsibility as a citizen, I won't sit there and somebody what is your input in the society? What have you done that is so tangible for me to give you state power? What have you done? What's your legacy? What's the roadmap you set that when you have power to your disposal that you can continue from? Nothing. You just want bluff boy around the place here because you divide money and something. Poof, you gave them power. Somebody who have not even owned for himself or herself a fitting dime. Let's say $500 US. That person, since he or she grew up, have never received it for themselves. You take that person, you and some of them, I tell you for free, they don't even read these documents that I brought before them, the voluminous document I brought before them for perusal to make their input. They don't even read it. They just affix their signature to these things because all they have at the back of their mind is the monitoring value. I mean, what thing nothing for all? Something there, when nothing there, I don't think about it. Attached to it, and that money, he has interest. He will not even look at the document. The first thing he will do, he will affix a signature. If that thing was at the detriment of his survivability, say he don't want to know because he will not read the document. He will only sign. So it is a word of caution for all of us as Liberians. And I love my Liberian people so much. And we are gravitating from one stage to the other. We are gaining our sanity when it comes to electionary period in our country. People are getting to understand what it takes to make a leader. A leader is somebody who is selfless. A leader doesn't think
Fire, call from Lockington.
Fire, let's hear you.
Yeah, my Rufus, this country is such in a way that it's so trying to do is for the future. Why is it that people should go against the right thing? I mean, I sometimes wonder. Like the name Marvin Cole I have been talking about, that have been coming out in a negative way. It means that his hands are not clean. Because if you see somebody doing something right and you are fighting against that person, why is he jittering and fighting? It means more especially with the leader, our representatives, the Senate, that's where the problem is. We elect them to go over there and be able to do the right thing for the citizens. But instead, they are going there to only enrich themselves. But there's a saying that any wealth gained through evil will disappear in the afternoon of their life. That's the reason why you see some of them, those that serve in government, if you check some of them, their life is such a way that is questionable. So I know that Ambassador Boakai is going to achieve this because evil only celebrates for a moment, but it can never triumph.
Down, calling from Clarkstown.
John, let's hear you.
And brother, you see, the fight of corruption in this country, it will be difficult, but by God's grace, we will win. That will win. But you see, the disappointment I had, I'm having disappointment in CDC. They are validating that they are against fight of corruption, including the Senate Bureau. You understand? So every time we talk about fighting corruption, then from CDC they will come the institutional lobby. That house there, you see over there, are they saying that why they supposed to allow others to go on there? Because I also have political parties trying to justify the same thing they did to how you call it, the Senate, they did do it to that. So it means that the only time to say that I told you, only go and ask one or two questions and then move on. They shouldn't go in.
Wow. People in that
Yeah, I'm Thomas Colley, and I'm calling. You know, corruption is very dangerous. And I'm sure that is the fear the citizens had. They did not take the fight against corruption seriously. And that is why CDC will not come to power again. Because in order for this country to succeed, we need people that will have the strength, that will have the will to fight corruption. Because corruption is dangerous. You can see what we are seeing around here these few days. Only because the government House of Representatives threatening the civil service boss only because he's doing the right thing. I listened to the Marvin Cole yesterday. All you could say is that the man is frisky, the man is rude, the man is disrespectful. Musa Hassan Beden, the same thing. The man is rude, the man is disrespectful. Is that what we elected you people for? What this man is saying, does it make sense to you? That is the discussion we should be having. You know what I'm saying? If what the man is saying, I hope President JB will not listen to whatever vote of no confidence they have imposed in the civil service boss, because that is their way of fighting back. From the way we see things, this man is in their way, and they must get him out. And we, the Liberian people, will not stand for our part. As Liberians, this is an opportunity. We have a president now that is willing to fight corruption, and we must join him. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. So the Liberian people are gravitating from one stage to the other. The previous electioneering period we had that brought people to power, if you will use that same approach, you won't have yourself to get power, because the people have graduated from that stage where you print t-shirt, bring burger rare, and say you win and no. Down to the reality. They have come to realize that monies that belong to them, that they should be benefiting from, are taken away from them. And you people who are at the helm of power, and you have oversight open. That's why we continue to call on the Minister of Education. Please, madam, reintroduce the teaching of civics in our schools so our students can get to learn about their nation and what, as a citizen, you are to do and what you are not to do. We open our eyes on the teaching of civics. That's why in our weak ways, we try to uphold and defend the integrity of our motherland, and we will do the things that are required of us as citizens. And there must be an introduction of the teaching of the Constitution as well at the senior high levels, from the 11th grade or 10th grade upward to college, so that Liberians have at the tip of their finger the Constitution whole right and responsibility as a citizen to do X, Y, and Z. The teaching of civics tells us the various branches of government, how it operates. So as a man who wants to take power at the legislature, when you come in to seek power, I know that your full responsibility when elected, you have to have oversight, lawmaking, and representation. It is not your responsibility to build road. It is not your responsibility to build community clinic. No, it is your responsibility to have oversight, call those who are responsible to do these things. That district or the country at large. It is on you to represent your people, to allocate fundings in the budget that are going to seek the welfare of the people through the developmental agenda. As a lawmaker, I have the mind and knowledge about your operation. You think you come and tell me, say, oh, I'll pay you, elect me, and see the humanitarian thing I'm doing. When I get there, I'll do this one. And no, you must have the lobbyistic power to convince your colleagues on grounds on the things that you want to proffer. Some of you, you are elected, and now you have turned out to be a toothless bulldog. You just sit down there, so say one, so say all. At the end of the day, they gave you $45,000 to buy a car. They gave you $1,000+ to buy gasoline. Aside from your salary, your as the 55th, you inherited the bar salary or the bar payroll from the 54th, for which you as a lawmaker serve into, my son, or looking in the interest of our country to be developed. Come, our payroll gets some distributors say, can't clear it. All those that ain't coming to work, make sure that the name be removed from the salary, the payroll. Let us say you as an employee of an institution, you are required to go to work 8 o'clock and be removed, or you leave from there at 5 or 4 o'clock. Let's say, for instance, you have to work for 8 hours. And that 8 hours, your working period starts at 8 and ends at 4. Understanding that when you do not live up to 8, you go to work 10 o'clock. How many hours have you subtracted from the required hour? You are not held accountable. Accountability is one of the things that we're lacking. So we grow up with that mindset. We grow up with that tendency in a government job. Anytime I can go down there. I can recall copy some of these attributes of the fallen, your predecessor. The mail will go to your office unannounced. Because, mind you, there are revenues that we should be generating within the course of the hours, and you are not there. You have to sign a document, and the will be lost in terms of revenue generation. So you go there, President Parker, go there unannounced, go to some of these ministries and agencies, go check on them. These are things, they are corrupt in their attitudes. Not just about the financial aspect, they are corrupt in their attitudes. They don't go to work in time, but they take the fat salaries. You as a lawmaker, when was the last time you called a constituency meeting? When was the last time you went back to the district to ask the people, you have been following the activities, what is constituents to ask of their knowledge so that you can go and represent them. Which one of you did it? And you are there to represent the people. You're not there on your own. I can recall in 2019, yes, 2022 when I went Ghana. When I was in Ghana, it was the Ghanaian period between December. They were setting up districts to get their input. Then on the national scene, they had a budget hearing where everybody, the radio, it was live, so that the citizens make their input. But some of you don't care, so other people were. And we blame ourselves. We should blame ourselves as citizens too, because we are the one that are allowing these people to do what they find themselves doing. So money, your house rent. You go to the main house, some money to wait. Oh, please pay my house rent, please pay my children's school fees. It is not that man's responsibility. It is his responsibility to represent you adequately, to create laws, pass bills that will be in. My people need this. Why is it that you are not implementing the budget line? But how dare you let the people there tell to go sit down to their houses? They feel proud, they feel so big that people can go to their houses and wake them up, waiting for them. If we can change the narrative, hold these people accountable. You have the power. Say all power is inherent in the people. You are their employer. They are your employees. But it is the other way around now. Your employees have become dictatorial to you who gone wrong. Every fabric of our society is broken because politicians have infused their bad politicking in it. I always say to people, in this life of ours, do not allow politics to mess up with your professional life. Distance your professionalism from politics. Politicians only have interests. When that interest is met, they have nothing to do with you. That's why you see a lot of you who were given jobs on the basis of party line. You are now feeling the pinch of what it is because you left the professional cycle and involve yourself in you. Everything you go to do, it is in the line of politics. Every spectrum of our society is now being polluted by politics. In the church, you have politics. In the military, politics. You have the medical field, politics. You have the educational field, politics. So politics have ruined the sacredness of these professional institutions. It's about time, Liberian, you come to think about it. Where have we gone wrong? All power is inherent in the people. If you have the power to elect these people, you have the power to remove them. And how do you go about that? So many ways and means being given you through the constitutional rights by your constitution. 0887-105-105. The darling boys of Africa, ye the world. People have you in high esteem. They respect your leadership. You did extremely well. You've built for yourself an image outside in your political sojourn, which people admire you for. It would have been any other person, they wouldn't have taken the the path that you took, but passing over power to the next leader without chaos the people you have around you do not mean well for you. If they meant well for you, you would have been re-elected by the Liberian people, because their works were going to and you commended the non-president. They frowned at you for doing that. And you said to them, it was based on your work we got the result that we now have. It is on you to go back and work tirelessly to regain the confidence of the Liberian people. I quote you verbatim. Now is the time. Do not allow yourself to be used by these same people to send a dent on that image you have built outside there and in Liberia. Don't allow yourself to be used. A hint or wise is quite sufficient. The fight against corruption should be holistic, and this is a fight that you need to embrace as a former leader of the land. If you did not take the approach, the next man is to give in to the process so that they be exonerated for claims and counterclaims, and not to stand in defense of them, because the world is watching. The good, in this world, you can do all the Ambassador George Manawia, former president of the Republic of Liberia, is my fervent call on you to go back to your drawing board, go in your closet, soberly reflect on your past leadership, what led to the defeat, and where you are now. If you are to recalibrate the thing that gave way to the Liberian people to re-energize themselves, to give you the second chance of leadership, it starts from your acceptance for the rule of law and the 5 are the numbers to call, because these are the same people that are passing around here. Oh, don't accept it. Don't accept it. And make sure you say they want you. It is in their interest, not in your interest. Hello?
Someone this paper. You know what? In this country, but one thing that we have our own power in this country. The president said it to power to last in far. President said it only green down, and she took some money. Of course, she took over. She took some money. But when President Bola kilo power, he got only some government level officials. The Liberian people said that we should, or men are taking, or millions of dollars that will benefit thousands or hundreds of human beings. One man taking it and somebody calling him back to all of them and say that we should. The mistake of President we are that time, President we are kilo power with friendship. If you put me our country, we have to stay behind President. We have to see our best of all those people that take government money when made the other people suffering get a letter or local.
When president, we have to, president, we have to power, president, we have to do all this for some official that is way that we're going to see how to balance the corruption or to minimize.
Thank you, John Jay.
So many people we are now, not only by any government. So they just trying to do the city because you're thinking you're not going to hold it down.
Thank you, John Jay. We appreciate you, John Jay. Hello. 077-866-5073. If you are listening and wanting to weigh in on our radio game, star 799 hash, select number 10 for Love FM, and win for yourself $3,000 Liberian dollars. We are slipping in time. Let's go to this line. Hello.
Good morning.
Your name and join us from where?
JP calling from the Tony Street.
Let's hear you.
I want to talk to my former president, Weah. George Weah is a good man. George Weah is the one that make Liberia to be Liberia today. I'm begging my former president, he should not allow people to use him. He got his property in America. He got his wife and children all in America. And here America have put in sanction on Mele Jefferson Kochi. They are frustrated. They are telling him, oh, President, we are do this. President, we are do that. Our party headquarters is not part of Liberia. No police supposed to go there. It's our own country. Before you go there, you got to play TV and all. No, you should not accept it. Every part of Liberia is for Liberians. They should allow the police to go everywhere in Liberia to protect life and property. I am breaking these oppositions that have tension on them. Let it please leave George Weah. George Weah is a peaceful man. George Weah lives in a peaceful country, which is America. They should not allow anything to happen for people to die in this country. Then America puts tension on him or tell him, don't come to our country, remain there and solve your problem. We are begging you people. If somebody wins election, let them serve their 6 years. After they are 6 years, the Liberian people will go back to the drawing board and see who they want to put there.
Thank you.
Beg you, there's no country, there's no different country in Liberia. Liberia is for Liberia. Don't say this part of the player, CDC office. Nobody should go there. No police should go there. No civilians should go there. No. Yeah, let's stop these things.
Okay.
War not good. Some of you were not born. We saw the war. Some people say, oh, when you come to city, police shooting all will be moving to them. Just we are don't allow it.
Okay, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Rufus. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Peter Kate, and I join you from District 13.
Peter, let's hear you.
Let me say thank you for the analysis this morning. But I'm finding it very difficult to actually understand where exactly we are going because I listen to the argument coming from the host, that is the lawmaker. And the lawmakers are pushing for equal justice, transparency. They are saying there are some people that are qualified, that have BSc, they are making 1,500, and all have master, they are making 700. So they only did some changes so that at the end result, everyone can feel satisfied. That's the point of the lawmaker. For this morning, your analysis, I find it very difficult to actually understand what you are saying, Rufus.
You have your opinion you have expressed, but the fact of the matter, if you've been following what has been happening, then you will understand from whence I speak. I am obligated to allow you to speak your mind, and I'm so obligated to safeguard the airwaves. So you are entitled to your opinion, and I need to bring out the issue and allow you to weigh in from your own level of understanding.
Yeah, so the point I'm making is the lawmakers are saying that they need equal justice. So the CSA boss.
Where is the justice? Where is the justice?
They are saying there are some people that are qualified.
the people get the same qualification, but one taking 500, another person taking 1,005.
Where
So
are
they
those
don't make-
people? Where are those people?
They are working in the same house. So why is it that the CSA board don't want to have food? They want to use the whole thing. The only thing the CSA board want to do, my dear brother, they want to print the lawmakers black because they say the people been corrupt.
Now, for best practice, right? If you, as an individual, for instance, let's put it in you and our shoes, you have, I have the jurisdiction to carry on some level of audit at your home. And I've come to realize there are certain things that are unfolding within your home that are not right. So the best practice here, give me the opportunity. Let me carry on my own operation. When that is done, you can sack me to carry on what you have observed that is not right, because you have the power to of oversight responsibility. So if they are saying certain people making 1,000, certain people making 800 according to academic status, why wouldn't they come up to one conclusion? My young man, this is what is happening. But in the same vein, carry on the cleaning, because Marvin Cole admitted that indeed they inherited, the 55th inherited a very bad payroll. He his own words, this is what he had to say. They inherited a very bad payroll, and this payroll, that is C payroll now, he wants the CSA to pay. Why? If you know very well it has some discrepancy, why should they pay that amount, 742 individuals, knowing that they are not, most of them are not real human beings, they are ghosts? Why should they, the government should spend money in that form and manner?
Well, now the argument is becoming valid. But here's the thing, my dear brother. The people are calling for amendment. They say they should change. Thinking people should be paid equally, so that the CSA board try his best to look in the direction and see how doesn't get clean. When you pull out the code list, nobody will come here to defend.
But yeah, I say that, yeah, I say, my brother, the first and foremost thing you need to do, you clean yourself. When you clean yourself, then you can structure in how you can have criminals in your cycle. Then because most of the criminals may be of high academic status, but you get them there. You must first clean the list, then you go back and set the standards. But you clean the list, then you say you must set standard. How do you set standard in the midst of that? It must first be clean before you set the standards. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, you're welcome. So time is fast spent. Our time is fast spent. Let's squeeze in this person, then we'll call it a day. Hello? Hello?
Are you go to you?
Oh, wow. They get talking to well, people get an issue here that you go to YouTube. No, man, go to YouTube. Now, radio station here. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
How are you, sir? Your name and the journal from where?
Yeah, once again, my name is James Fire. I just want to tell you a parable. I just want to tell the Nigerian boy a parable. They say regret is the interest of those who borrow trouble. Those guys are on the wrong, and those are shaking now. It is a regret. It's the interest they are getting now. So they will continue to shake. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So in conclusion, many thanks to all of you who weighed in this morning. We appreciate your participation. It was a wonderful time seated here and taking your calls, listening to your views on national issues. We look forward to these discourse, but every time we seize the opportunity in a saber-minded, it is our sole responsibility as journalists to safeguard the airwaves from invectives and prefer those things that are meant for the development of our country, bring out the issue, allow you to weigh in. We do not censor your view. We have equal opportunity afforded everyone to participate, regardless of your political ideology or your political attachment. We do not hold against you, you have the liberty. But what we frown at is the negative that you bring to the airwaves. We do not allow invectives. That's why we get a level playing field to each and every one of you to air your views regardless of your thoughts. My name is Rufus Divine Cannon. Two things I always say to you, two things in this life you always will remember for: the problems you create and the problems you solve. And you must take responsibility of two things in your life: your fortune and that of your misfortune. Because in union, strong success is sure. With God above our rights to prove, we over all prevail. With hearts and hands, our country cause defending, we meet the fool with valor unpretending. Have you and yours a pleasant and godly day. Always follow the rest of our broadcast, and at 2, we'll be back here for the afternoon conversation. To those of you who are always wanting to wait in on our radio game, star 799 hash, select number 10 for Love FM, and win for yourself 3,000 Liberian dollars. Airtel Gibson will be here. You can put through your game just $100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents, and you may be one of the lucky winners. Have yourself a wonderful time. Bye bye.